Richard Newton and Adam Walker with you today. We're just going to have a bit of a chat about recovery and how important that is in terms of prevention of ACL. There's lots of recovery tools around now. In fact, it's spawned a whole new industry really with things like cryo sports and P3 here on the Gold Coast and certainly around Australia as well. And a lot of professional sports teams. It's really got a high focus around what we're doing. Yeah.
Yes, certainly, and particularly in the elite and professional environments now, that is such a major focus for them, is their ability to recover between games. Particularly now with recovery times dropping down from 7 days down to 5 days even, the importance of recovery is absolutely vital.
So in these recovery centres, we've got lots of different things. We've got saunas and cryotherapy, and we know all about compressions being popular the last couple of years, and massage and compression boots. There's all these different things in recovery. They've all got their place, but there's really one tool that trumps them all, and that's sleep. And I think that's the thing that really gets underrated. Certainly in the community athletes, we hear about all these sort of fancy things, but sleep being such a simple thing is such an important area.
Yeah, I don't think we can emphasise that enough. When we look at even if we look at the research, we put everything next to each other, nothing is coming even remotely close to the effects of what sleep can do for your recovery. So I don't think unless you've got your sleep right, no matter how much of your compression shorts or your active recovery will do, nothing's even going to get close to what you can get out of your sleep.
So as a percentage wise, I think you and I will be on the same page, thinking that sleep probably makes up 99% of it, and the others are all up to little 1%ers. Yeah. So, just in terms of what we look at when someone does their ACL, obviously these days we see it all in the media, we can look at videos and things, but one of the questions we often ask each other, well, I wonder what their sleep was like last night. Did they have a lousy night's sleep and then they've gone out the next day and done their ACL?
Yeah, so it's now about talking about why do we think sleep is so important. And I know Richard yourself has done a lot of work in the chronic pain space where sleep is absolutely vitally important. So why do we think sleep is so important?
We've got a couple of broad categories we can look at. Obviously the muscular recovery thing is obvious. As you go into that deep sleep state, your body produces this stuff called growth hormone, which is what your muscles need to repair themselves from the training or the playing you've done the day before. So if you're not getting that deep sleep state, your muscles aren't recovering, they're not really going to work as well off the back end of that. And that's obviously pretty obvious. But it comes through things like mental clarity as well. We all know what we're like if we've slept poorly the night before, or been on some plane travel, we haven't slept. Your mental clarity is not as good, so your thinking's not as sharp. So that's going to kind of impact things. And then the other aspect is you've got this learning and retention thing. The way learning works is you're presenting your body at training with a different task or a different element, and then when you go to sleep overnight, your brain goes to work on trying to reinforce and really bed those patterns down. So without that, you're going to lose that as well. So any skill development's just not going to happen to the same degree.
So let's look at a couple of scenarios here now. And these are some of the things that we might hear in clinic every day. Really common one is the school-age kids. We've got a really talented athletic school-age kid. They're in lots of different programs. Wake up in the morning, shoot off to cross-country training before school. Nice, hard, big session there. Yep, really good training session getting ready for their cross-country. Then they've got to go to school. They get to school in the afternoon. They've got to duck off and play 2, 3, 4 touch games against another local school. And after school, they go to their touch training, for example. They have a big session there. Get home, do all the normal stuff at night at home. They go to bed, but they actually don't get to sleep until maybe midnight because they've been sitting up late, looking at their phone, watching TV, doing different things. Alarm goes off very early in the morning, 6 a.m, off to touch training the next day, and then pop, off goes their ACL. Or bang, maybe they do a hamstring or a variety of other injuries. The question is how much effect did sleep have in them getting that injury, and potentially plays a bigger role than what we think. Any other situations that you can think of?
Yeah, well, even if we look at an elite professional sportsman, obviously they do their ACLs just as much as community athletes do. But I think probably a good example would be, say, someone who's 28, newly married, and they've just had a baby. Right, so obviously you get a bit of sleep deprivation. My kids were terrible sleepers. We were wholly sleep deprived for about a year, and then you're trying to train at a really high level, getting this really interrupted, broken sleep, go out, and all of a sudden, bang, we've got some sort of injury, ACL or whatever it might be. It's just that same sort of thing. Sort of pretty aware to some of the really top-end teams now, like certainly Manchester United. I'm certainly know they've done some stuff at the Suns, and more likely other AFL clubs too. They've got professional sleep coaches that actually come in and talk about, well, how do you get a good night's sleep, and what some of the things you can actually do around that.
From a prevention perspective, really important for our motor learning, and then also from the perspective of making sure that we're fresh, recovered, we can make the appropriate decisions. There are a lot of things that we can do to improve our sleep. Now, Rich, do we have anything else that we can offer them in terms of tips of how people can improve their sleep to make sure that they're getting the best they can?
So in part 2 of this presentation, we'll go through and show you all the different ways you can really try and get a better night's sleep. How much sleep you really should get, all the little tips and tricks that these sleep coaches do at a professional level to really make sure you're getting a good night's sleep. And I think that could go a long way as far as ACL prevention.
Yeah. Thanks for watching, and make sure you do have a look at the presentation that's going to come along with this short video, and really consider putting in place some of the strategies to make your sleep better, perform better, but also reduce your risk of injury as well. Anything to finish up?
No, that's perfect. I think we'll do that, and we'll see you in the next video.
Thank you.